Okay, mic test, mic test. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Sa inyong lahat, this is Jed Liardo of Team eToro Pilipinas. Laksa, laksa. Kamusta, kamusta? Kamusta po tayo? And let's see. So wherever you are, good day. So today, first off, I've been out for a while. So medyo matagal tayong anong tawag, term I'm looking for. I guess hiatus, right? Hiatus. I think that's a term. Parang like break. Kumbaga. Yeah. So now we're back and we just paused for a bit kasi medyo busy tayo sa uh, day job natin. I guess that's a general term, but I work at night also, at least in Philippine time. Um, so yeah, medyo busy, because it's the end of the year and maraming activities and stuff to do. So medyo busy and you know it's part of always of our strategy to consider our time when we execute our trades, when we plan ahead because we want to prepare, right? And as much as possible mitigate issues and problems with our time management, and that affects our trading also big time, diba? It may not be um, what you call it. May it not be clear at first, but you'll notice as you go along, as you trade from day trade every day, or try to trade every day, you'll find it harder and harder to manage your time, especially if hindi ka full time, which most of us are not yet, right? So, that's the challenging thing or challenging part of starting learning and developing your trading skills because medyo challenging talaga siya. And I think that's the same thing across the board for everything that you do or try in life, di ba? At first, medyo mahirap talaga. But it'll get easier as you move along. As long as, of course, you take note of your challenges and always keep checking on them and try your best to improve your skills and develop them, right? Research and development, kumbaga. Speaking of research and development, I apologize for missing the last stream natin or event natin sa Team EToro Pilipinas Academy because hindi pa natin na nagawa yung research and development, which we'll be doing very soon, right? So first off, while we're there's a few things that I would like to do here on our of course today in this live day trading. First is obviously to day trade, and I think we have an opportunity to come in dito sa oil, and we'll be executing that right now real time with you. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. I think I'm not really missed, but kind of already past what I saw earlier as an opportunity, right? Here, tingnan natin yung charting. Launch sa pro charts. So, first thing is due diligence, right? Due diligence, always due diligence. Um, so let's go back to the page of oil, and then here, this is the 1 day. Let's see. Saan ba nakasave ako sa profile dito? It's been a while here. And all right, so let's see. Let's put oil here, and that should. There we go. Update everything, all the time frames that we have. 1 minute, 5, 15. Sa baba, nag-update din siya because I used this feature, right? The one symbol for all charts. And we have videos for that also sa YouTube channel natin, which the link you can find below. If you're watching this right now live dito sa Facebook page natin, it's on the description for our YouTube channel. So andun yung mga replays natin sa live stream. Okay, so looking at it obviously meron talagang opportunity to get in. Let's see. Let's look at the change natin yung time frame dito. Let's change that to that's 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Tingnan natin yung swing potential natin. So an hour, walang 45 minutes dito, right? And 4 hours. Right, so what we're looking at for or what we're looking for is an opportunity for that quick um not really like correction, but yeah, by definition it could be like a correction. Kasi if you look at here, um, tumaas bigla yung price ng oil from the point when it was down, right? And if you look at, wait a minute, at our history dito sa profile natin, we actually were trading oil a lot for the past actually last, not just last week, but to few days ago, right? So if you noticed here, I closed on December, um, here December 11, right? December 11. That's like 2 days ago, and we're on the sell side because when we saw it's pushing 59, like right now, it actually went up to as far as um, point 0.4 kanina, 15.4, and based on our technical analysis, and let me pull down uh, our dito. There we go. And this is, by the way, in the trading view, right? That was on eToro's pro charts, right? And this is the trading view, and this is, by the way, a paid version of the account or premium account because I wanted to see the 1 second, but you really don't like literally critically need it. It's just a preference of mine kasi gusto ko makita yung biglang, short time frames. Right now, though, due to our limited times trading natin on our daily basis, although we still day trade, it's just that hindi na tayo pwedeng mag pinascalping move, right? Yung El Rapido moves natin before when we use one-click trading, right? Back and forth, close and open trades, mabilisan, right? So we do that like in a shorter time frames. This one, if you noticed, I'm looking at the 15 seconds, 30 minutes, 45, and a 60, and up to like a day even, right? We also have a day chart here, right? This is it. This is, by the way, my parang screener, right? We obviously have a stock screener here sa trading view. You can find it down below the screen. Nasa baba siya dito. But you could also build your own list like this one, right? This is my own list. And this is what I, most of the time, if you check my profile sa eToro, both my low risk and my high risk, ito yung mga usual pairs or instruments that I trade, right? Every day. When I see there's an opportunity, I go in and I trade and open and close, right? Earlier, if you noticed, we already copied actually our low risk sa na popular investor natin na account. If you look at here's a Toro, just quickly type in Jed to my account, so it should show up on top. The one with the star, that means it's a popular investor, right? The one with the blue star, that's my account. That's my low risk account. And we actually opened earlier a trade. When we saw the opportunity, like I said earlier, ayun, bumalik pala yung yung oil on that price range, right? And when we check, if we go back to our chart, I saw that kanina. And if you look at the moving average 20 and 50, I'm using that for my day trading, right? The lower moving average, which is 20, is above the longer, right, moving average. And if you research about it, that basically means there's an opportunity to short it, right? Again, solely on that moving average potential. And apparently, I'm right again, right? So basically, nandito tayo for the past few days. We've been trading here, dito, right? And suddenly it dropped, and yun, 10 TP right away. Now we're again on the top, right? Although there could be potentially na, mag-break siya sa 60. But looking at, again, at the moving average and the MACD and the RSI, apparently it's not the situation, right? And the headlines and everything, the news is actually, you know, leaning towards our way. So we opened that position kanina. I wanted to open a position here sa high risk natin. However, we do have an event, right? And I've been posting this about kanina pa, uh, earlier today, about our profile, right? This high risk account actually was opened solely for our Team eToro Pilipinas community, right? And everybody wanted to uh, have or experience or copy a high risk account. And technically, it's not possible to do that in eToro. However, we made it possible. We've been testing it. And if you notice, my ups and downs, obviously, because it's in a high risk account. And if you go to our stats page, we actually recently recovered almost actually all of our losses sa November, and we're on our way to recover the rest that we lost sa October. We had a good run on September. We went as far as 56%. And, you know, we're trying to close our year with minimum, most minimum na losses natin. So, may swing up and down. That's how high risk works, right? Kasi you won't be like always on the best side. But right now, we just lowered our risk. That's number one. And then I've asked everyone, and if you are an active copier in this high risk account, in our high risk account, please lower your um, copy amount to 200 USD, right? That's the minimum para bumaba yung overall AUM dito, yung asset under management. So basically, that's the total amount that I'm managing right now under this account. That's basically your money, right? Combined. So we started like like 2 months ago. No, a month and a half. Um, and we were like at least over 100, right? That means full AUM and capacity ng copiers. Technically, it's the AUM actually. Correct myself sa post natin sa Team eToro Pilipinas na nakapin sa page natin. Excuse me. It's not about the copiers, by the way, number of copiers, but it's the total AUM. It doesn't matter if there's like 10. However, if mag-reach, I think the limit is like around 20,000 USD total, right? If umabot siya doon and mag-hit siya sa parang closing time ng eToro every, I think, 2 p.m. Manila time or Cebu time. If mag-scan yung system at makita niya yung overall AUM ng account nito is like around 20 USD, then it closes that. So you get that error message na naging malaki na yung capacity natin. But right now, I believe, and I think we have that space kasi I just asked a lot of people to reduce their copy amount, and we just closed everything also. So that means you don't have the reason to hold on, right? Doon sa copy mo. And I just got a reply from Louis Dexter Lau. He just also reduced his copy amount. Thank you guys and everybody for cooperating with this, because we need that, big time sa cooperation, di ba, part. And this account, this process won't be effective if hindi mag-cooperate yung lahat na nag-copy. Like I said earlier, we just opened this account solely for the community because, when we were doing El Rapido and we were sharing way back na nasa, messenger group chat pa tayo, wala pa tayong Discord channel. Everybody was asking kailan pwede mag-copy. And, we thought originally, of course, that it's not possible because it's high risk, right? And we're always, if you noticed, most of the time, umabot tayo lang, an average 9 or 8, right? And that's not possible because the minimum is 7. That's why we're lowering it right now para makapasok yung copiers. Na na-drop when we were having red months, right? And that's the previous 2 months, October and November, obviously, right? Now, recently, we've been recovering that. I think we already recovered fully the November losses kasi I just closed the trades just earlier, right? Dito sa last few trades sa USD yen na pair natin, Japan yen, right? Japanese yen. And that's equivalent, I bet, almost, if you notice, like that's 21%, right? So if you look at that, that's beyond the losses of November. So that means we're good for November and December. Of course, given the fact na hindi tayo magka-loss, and hopefully not, right? So positive vibes lang. So what we're aiming to get, make sure, or try our best to recover fully the losses of for October also. So that means ending the year with at least 30, 25. That means 55, right? So somewhat the same gains natin dito sa September, right? And I know that's a big goal for us given we're halfway through na sa buwan ng December, right? But we did it once, right? And we will do it again. We will try our best. And I have more free time now compared to the past 3 or 6 weeks, right? Na medyo busy tayo. Obviously, noticeable naman kasi eh, wala na tayong stream lately, medyo. And then, but now we're back. And like I said, we're lowering our risk right now and asking everyone that are active dito, nakakapi sa hires natin, to please lower your funds to 200 USD. And we'll run this for at least, I don't know, 3 days, depending on how it goes. The last time that we did this, that was, I think, way back October or September, I think, right? Napuno tayo like within the next 2 days, right? 48 hours or less. Napuno. Diretso yung overall limit ng under management natin, which is around, again, 20,000 USD. That's like at least ₱1,000,000, right? Combined, right? Combined asset management, kumbaga. So yun. So please lower for existing, and for new or returning copiers, that now's the time. Please try and copying, because I believe it should be okay now, right? You should be able to copy trade. Ayan, nag-rise na yung USD, and that's actually a good thing because when I woke up and timing naman, the market opened and I saw, oops, okay, I should not probably wait for the TP target natin, but gain is gain, so that's it. So right now, I think we should be able to close our position here. Look at that. Although my target is TP target natin, I set here. So this is, by the way, in our low risk account. And like I said, I wanted to trade here sa high risk natin, but given the fact that we're trying to let everybody in and asking everyone to lower their copy amounts, it's not a good idea to open trades, because that would mean they can't lower it if active yung open trade, right? So going back, looking at the gain here, we're at 1 point. This is, by the way, not updated. If you're looking at profiles, na public profiles, hindi siya real time, by the way. So please try not to like copy executions publicly sa mga, especially sa popular investor accounts like this one. Do not please try doing that, because especially if you're doing short time frames, that's a very bad idea. Because again, this is not updated real time. I think there's like a minute or two na delay. Because right now, I'm looking at my live account in the other screen. I have like 5 screens here. Medyo overkill. But it's like around 1%, right? But that's not exactly the PNL here. So, but I think we should be able to close it sa lowers natin. We actually reached kanina, medyo volatile yung price ng oil ngayon. It also actually already reached like 2%, but I was talking to you guys, so that should potentially, let's look back sa chart natin, right? So due diligence, right? This is the day trade, right? The day time frame. And again, if you're looking at it, obviously, if you have been doing your research and study, right, practice, this looks like an opportunity to short, right, or sell. So here we're here right now, right? We'll be on over 80 points tayo sa SRS na sa stochastic natin. And our MACD is showing potential of weakening sa buy or sa bulls natin, right? So that's a potential, right? Kanina when I saw the price went up as far as like 59.4, I should have come in earlier, right? But I wanted to make sure, so I did some research about our fundamentals. So that means news and what's going on, right? If there's like anything that would, potentially, uh, potentially pause it or abrupt it or interrupt the momentum. But it looks like the wala na. So that means it reached that peak, and it's now trying to retrace itself back. Right? Look at that. This is the shorter time frames. This is the day, and this is the four. C is what I call the four chart um, day trade time frames natin, which is 15 seconds, 30 minutes, 45, and an hour. Right? This is actually my swing for the shorter, which is the 15 and 30 minutes, right? But we're looking at it right now. Let's see. Yeah, definitely short, right? So we go back dun sa account natin, and yeah, we already are gaining, right? But this is low risk, and that means our leverage there is actually just times 10, right? So wala masyadong pressure. Unlike when, way back when we're doing dito sa high risk natin, na, medyo times 150. If my whip, which is happening right now sa gold, ayun, diretso sarado, right? So no, that's not a good idea. All right, so yeah, by the way, how to reduce uh, my funds, right? If you're new to copy trading, let me show you real quick, right? Let me switch to our virtual, so I could copy someone. Actually, copy my account. Let's see. Let's copy my account. I think I have an active trade. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is how it looks like, right? So when you copy, right? So first is okay. Give me a sec. I think we just saw our opportunity there. I think our positions. I mean, our positions. Oil in our lower risk would probably trigger the TP target. See, nag 2% na ulit siya. And our target sa TP here is 5887. It's looming to break that right now. It's actually breaking down. It might actually break that in a few minutes. Let me just look at it again. Ayan o. Di ba yung TP natin is 5887? It's somewhere here, right? And it might retrace back here. Let's see. Potential support resistance natin is andito definitely. Now, the first one is here, and it already broke that. So that means that we're pushing down more, at least on the 30 minutes time frame. And yes, we're potentially gonna go way below this point, right? 15.80. And obviously, it's generally, if you look at it, what's the color that you're seeing, right? It's red. So that means we're shorting, we're going down. And lower and down we go, right? Down we go. Let's see. Teka, teka, teka. Right. So definitely yes. I'm gonna wait for that. We'll wait it out. I could, obviously close it at 2% PNL. That's already a gain. That's a good gain. Um, but I'm seeing that it will still go down at 58. So I will wait for that. Patiently wait in a way that's a lower risk strategy natin, and we're using actually the day chart for it, which is this one. I'm just looking at here for potential entries sa high risk natin, which I'm not yet doing because of course we have this open copying trade event natin for today, right? So let me go back here. Okay. So yeah, so going back to the how to first is how to properly copy trade, right? I want to cover that because I've been getting those questions every now and then, and I just realized wala pala tayong video about it sa YouTube channel natin, and might as well cover that. Not that too established. It's very simple actually, yung copy trading concept ng ito. It's just that there's some complexities around it that you might not think na andyan. Right? Medyo easily na-overlook natin, right? And ang daming nagkakamali dito, especially for beginners because it's a new thing, right? And that is normal. So with that being said, let's see. So this is how it looks like, right? So you look for an account, like for example, our lowest account. You want to copy our lowest account. By the way, you could copy our lowest account right now anytime because this is already on a popular investor account and wala tayong limitation sa AUM. So that means you could copy anytime. Although medyo kasi lower risk yung strategy dito, medyo minimum than yung returns, right? Not really minimum, I guess. The right term would be consistent low returns, right? Kasi yung target natin is always going to be at least 1% a month, right? And so when you decide to copy someone, you click, of course, copy button, right? And you'll be presented with this pop-up. And this is, by the way, on the desktop, right? And I always recommend to do this on your desktop kasi mas malaki yung screen and then, iwas accidental clickings, right? Which is so common sa phone, mobile phone. So first is you set your copy amount, right? So let's say, for example, I have 1,000 here, so that's 50,000 peso. So that's average copy trade size. Dito, papakita siya. And then the next most important thing, also one of the most important thing is to look for is this check back button, right? The copy open trades. You don't think is that's checked by default, right? Sure. However, what I recommend, like I mentioned here sa profile natin, sa low risk account natin, by default, if you look at my account first before you copy, or anyone actually, check their open trades first, right? And in this example, and also please also have that in mind na hindi to real time, right? So you want to check and do your due diligence. So that means research, check the charts, check the companies if merong open trades. And usually when you copy someone with the popular investor account, low risk, anyone, actually most of them have open trades kasi long term usually yung mga low risk or popular investors natin, di ba? Unlike this one, I have long term Bitcoin and short term or swing trade dito sa oil, right? So, di ba, merong tawag ito, always open trade. So you want to consider that, di ba? So what I recommend is first to check that, and when you see if the price is like I mentioned here, when the price of my make sure to check the prices of my positions first. If it's too high, meaning positive na yung trade from where I open the position. So let's go back to our portfolio. If you see here dito, this is positive na, di ba, sa oil. And I said if it's too high dito sa opening price, let's open that for details, right? I open it at 59.26 and the current rate now is at 20, di ba? So if it's too far na, like medyo malayo na talaga and sobrang laki na yung gains, I wouldn't recommend copying that trade, right? So that means do not check the copy trade button. All right? So let's make it clear again. Do not copy open trades if it's already gaining too much here, right? Sure, there's potential na tataas pa siya and all. However, you don't want to bet that, right? Bet on that, diba? We want to be always on the safe side. So mitigate losses as much as possible, diba? So that's it. However, if wala tong oil and then nasa Bitcoin lang, diba? Still do your due diligence and research about it, right? Like right now, Bitcoin is right now struggling to break out sa support and resistance natin. That would be around like 7.5, right? And then 8K, diba? It's just going up and down. However, it's holding. So that means potentially it could break out anytime soon, right? Before the end of the year or early next year. So that's why I'm holding. And this is a long-term investment. You can see I've been just compounding, right? New entries every now and then when I see opportunity. And I might add actually more due to the fact na nag-lower ulit yung price, diba? So going back, so with that being said, and then considering the profile of the one that you copied, also of course make sure to read how or yung strategy niya. In my case, I'm a swing trader, right? And of course, I keep long-term positions also, and that's Bitcoin for my in my case. So if you go back to the copy, adjust the amount, and of course that amount will auto adjust based on what you have in your account actively, diba? So with that status right now, in this situation, I would probably not copy open trades yet, right? And then, ito, importante din, stop copying if copy value drop below 600. Right? So that means, technically, if you edit this, uh, that's actually 600 or 60%, right? Because I have 1,000, diba? So 60% is 600 amount. If it goes below that, automatically mag-stop copy loss. Ang daming nagkamali dito before. Well, not nagkamali, but maybe forgot, right, to change it. But I wanted to make sure this is clear. Now, when you copy trade, especially in our high risk account, I would recommend that you lower that at least. Actually, what I recommend is the lowest possible. Of course, any amount that you copied here, make sure that you are prepared to lose it because this is a high risk account, and I could literally bet all of my portfolio in one go. And you notice that, right? And dito, it's very apparent, diba? If you, oh, sorry, this is our low risk. If you look at our high risk here, see at the risk, right? The black one, that means 10, right? That means I used maximum risk. That means I used 100% of my portfolio, diba? And that happens most of the time, right? Especially if I see a very good opportunity, I go all in, right? The funds in here in my high risk account is not that big compared to my low risk. That's why I could afford to lose it, right? But I can't afford, of course, to lose my funds in my low risk account because um, it's substantially big na, diba? So going back, if you're gonna copy our high risk, I would recommend going as far as the lowest. I think that's 30% or is it 20? But let's switch, right? So this is the amount. What I would recommend is switch it to ratio para mas madali, right? So you would see the actual percentage here instead of the value, di ba? So we could do, I think the lowest is 20. Let's see, 10. Oh, you can still do 10. Oh wait, 5. Andito pala. Oh my god. Nabulag ata ako. Andito, minimum 5%, right? So you can't go as lower than that. So 5% is the lowest. So that means you're willing, if this example, if you're gonna go 5% here, that means you're willing to lose $950 of your investment, right? Sa high risk natin. Okay? So that's what it means at 5%. However, why I'm recommending this is because how we play or how we trade sa strategy natin sa high risk is that, of course, we could potentially lose like 30-40% in a month. However, like what you saw, we could potentially also recover that in the next month, right? That's just how it goes. Kaya nga high risk siya. So higher risk, high returns, of course, higher than risk losing substantially yung investment mo, like what you're seeing here, diba? It's our account is public, and there's a lot of high risk traders also na nag-start na gaining, ranking, and then suddenly biglang nawala ang nag-privating account because they just lost their account, nag-wipe, right? Nasunog, diba? So we don't want that happening, and what we want is gusto natin na you understand, clearly exactly what you're doing, diba? So let's always make sure that you do understand before you click anything in your account, right? Make sure that you understand. Wag yung parang pag 50-50 ka on doing something, that usually means you're about to do something, very not very bad, but about to do something that could potentially hurt you. So you'd want to step back and think about it or ask someone or confirm if you're doing the right thing, diba? Anyone that you trust, of course. So going back, so let's just say 1,000. This is how you copy. You set 1,000. This is what I recommend for our high risk, and this is just an example yung amount, right? I'm not saying this is the required one. The minimum obviously is 200 when you start copying someone. So here 1,000 amount, and then copy stop loss natin. This is the copy stop loss. We set it to 5%, and then I copy. Right? There we go. I just copied my own profile, right? Using my hires account. So here, this is when you first copied, and then of course when you add funds, you click back again, you go to the profile, you click back again, the copy button turns to the add funds na, diba? You have this screen. This is the tricky part, right? So when someone copies back, I mean add funds again, you'll be you'll have the, of course, obviously the box to add the amount, right? Specific amount. Let's say I want to add another 1,000. However, there's a checkbox again, and again by default that's checked. So you'd want to watch out for that. Di ba? What happens is that last month, I think, or the other was it September? Right, we were already recovering, right? You saw we recovered a lot, right? Sa losses natin sa August, and then boom, nag-recover tayo. Sobrang green, right? And I got those questions na, hi Sir Judd, bakit you recovered na and I'm not yet recovering, di ba? And I also added funds. I've been adding funds, and the execution should be the same. No, technically no, because this is how it happens, right? So kanina nag-add ka ng nag-copy ka ng 1,000, right? Nag-copy ka ng 1,000, and then of course I've been trading in between, di ba? On those days, uh, let's say after a week you again decided to add another fund, another 1,000, sorry, another 1,000 to your fund. Technically, yung 1,000 lang ni first nagka-copy trade that time. And that means when you added the funds, anything that was already executed before that won't be copied anymore. Di ba? That means the following trades na lang yung makakopy. Tama ba? Unless you check this button here. However, that also means when you update and add funds here, when you copy those trades na active pa rin, like right, what we have right now sa low risk natin, here, that means you're not copying the executed amount, right, or price during that time, but the present. Right? So just in case, if medyo positive na siya dito, and you didn't look at the profile before adding funds, and then you just decided to go ahead and add funds and copy open trades, that's a fatal mistake, right? Because that potentially you're actually already copying a position that was already gaining, right? And potentially could go back down, di ba? So that means hindi siya technically copying everything, like mirroring everything, because this is the moment that you copied again. Technically, adding funds is also copying again if you check this box, right? So you copied, and magka-copy ka ulit dito, and then that means magdodoble yung copy position mo. And I'll show you how it looks like, right? Let's say for example, nag-investigate muna ako dito. Like I switch to virtual kasi nasa portfolio virtual natin, and you won't see it right away here. You will have to switch dito. Ayun, makikita mo na nakopy. Okay? Diyan dito, right? And if you notice, I didn't check the copy open trades kanina, di ba? So, ayun, 1,000 lang, nag-wait lang siya for new executions, that means, right? However, if I add funds and then I check that box and I update it, you see here, if we refresh, I should have open trades right now kasi I copy open trades na, di ba? When I added new funds. And that, my friends, usually what happens if you just add, and that's what happened also sa mga, previous copiers natin. And right now, you see, kinopy ko yung open trades, lahat ng open trades ng low risk na account natin, di ba? Executed at the same time. And that's what happens every time you add funds and then you forgot to uncheck this, right? Of course, if you want to really copy open trades, given na, medyo malayo like the Bitcoin, then by all means, do that, right? But be careful lang, di ba? Watch out for it. Always look for that checkbox, right? When you add funds. Okay? So heads up dun sa mga existing copiers natin sa high risk, when you are about to go back and add funds later on or next month, right? Make sure to check our profile first, right? Check our profile, and make sure to uncheck that. Don't rush it. Think about it before you click the update button. Okay. One thing also that we want to cover is how to remove funds, right? Remove funds, and also adjust stop copy loss. So here, ito na yung active copy profile natin. And if I want to remove funds, right? I want to like adjust, go back here. Again, profile, di ba? And then go to people, view all, and then andito yung profile natin. Tapos, dito ka lang, right? Adjust. Andito siya. Asa ba yun? Remove funds, right? Dito. So, you could freely remove the funds that you're not using right now. So, kaya nga, kanina, I closed all our trades, which also a good timing na close natin yung trades natin dito sa Japan, pair natin sa US dollars, Japan yen, na nag-positive na, which is good, and we close it, right? So that means right now, for all existing copiers, you could freely remove funds and reduce it to the minimum, which is 200, right? So if I remove, I have right now 1,000, or actually 2,000, and I'll remove like 1,000, diba? Update that. So that means right now, 1,000 na lang yung copy funds natin. And then yung funds nandun, babalik dun sa available funds mo. Right? You notice that below here. Available funds. Okay? The other thing is how to update your copy stop loss. Just in case, let's say you missed changing it to 5%, right? Go here again, this cookie or tool button, and then set copy stop loss or set CSL. That's what we call it. Tapos, again, switch to ratio kasi mas madali siya, and that should be more accurate, right? Click ratio, and that's, you will see the percentage. So if it's not 5%, then change that to the lowest that you want, all right? But 5% is what I recommend para hindi kayo ma-drop while I'm like, swinging back and forth, losing and recovering, right? Although, so far, dito sa, right now, for the past, 15 days, or no, wait, 13 days pala, ng trading natin, or sorry, 13 days kasi it's already 12. Sa hires natin, we've actually been doing really well. So if you look at that, 100% yung execution natin. And that's why we already gained 21%. Hindi siya updated, of course, because this updates, by the way, you could see, update only daily basis at 00 GMT. That's around 1 or 2 p.m. Cebu time or Philippines time. Right? So hindi pa siya updated. But tomorrow, you'll see the updated one. Nasa 21%. Given na hindi ako magte-trade right now. If I trade again, a few trades right now, which I think I won't be doing any trades while we have this event, like copying back, right? I'll give it like at least 24 hours to 24 to 48 hours na pwede mag-copy yung iba. Okay. So yeah, let's check dito sa lowers natin. Yeah, it's swinging back. Look at that. So ganina naging 2%, over 2% na, but I was discussing it with you guys, right? So I'm actually thinking of moving my, there we go. I'm gonna move my TP target for the lower risk. It's swinging really hard. Ayan, actually nag-hit siya sa TP, original TP ko kanina, but I forgot to change that back. So that's bummer. That's a bummer. But it will actually definitely go back there. Let me just verify again. Yeah, definitely. Right, we're still on that path. Of course, in the short time frames, medyo wild siya, nagsiswing back and forth. But in the day time frame, yun lang siya. Like, you could clearly see the potential pattern. So, short ako sa oil. And of course, that's not a recommendation. We strongly recommend not to openly advise anyone to trade any instrument whatsoever. That's one of our rules, ironclad rules natin sa group. And if we see someone doing that publicly, we'll warn you. And if we warn you multiple times and ginagawa mo pa rin, you'll be bound to be kicked out and blocked from the team or from the group, right? So that's for us to protect all our newbies na, dami na nating mga members na nasusunog before because, blindly copying or executing trades na they're not actually understanding, very well. Hindi nila alam yung pinapasok nila, dire-diretso lang. So we don't want that, and that's one of us helping mitigate that, problem or possible loss. Okie dokie. And that's it actually for us today. I think we covered most of what we want. Let me double check our checklist. So we discussed how to lower the funds, how to properly copy trade, and again, we'll be uploading this video to our YouTube channel later on. And please don't forget to subscribe and like our page and in our Facebook account. And if you're watching here this video in YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe in this channel, so you'll be notified every time that we have a new video uploaded. Hopefully more in the coming few weeks. All right. So thank you guys for watching. Again, Laksa, ingat-ingat po tayo. Gold morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Be safe, take care, and see you next time. Thank you.